Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Today here, at the time of recording, it is a beautiful day. The sun is pouring through the window, so I'm not sure it's the greatest idea I've ever had of having the window right in front of me, because all I can see is a big black shiny blob in the screen, but hopefully you can see more than I can. But I'm not going to complain about the sun. What I am going to do is do my best to get on with this video, and I'll do my best to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. So today we're going to be making what I'm going to be calling a seagull card. And this is actually a commission card. It's from a friend who wants to propose to his girlfriend on her birthday. He's taking her to the beach where they first met, which I thought is extremely sensitive and romantic. And he wants a seaside beach. And apparently she loves seagulls. So he said, could I please incorporate seagulls? But he wants it quirky. He doesn't want it to be a serious one. He wants it to be fun. So I think I've come up with something I hope he'll like. So do stick around till the end, because I've got a really cool sentiment to put along the bottom. So we'll get to that at the end of the video. So for now, we are making a we're not making a 6x6, we're making a 6x4, I do beg your pardon. And this is ordinary 6x4 white cardstock. And I've just put some paper, or some pattern paper, on the front. This is from my stash, which I've got on my craft station over to my right. And it looks like, well, to me anyway, it looks like water, and I thought that was quite appropriate. So we'll come back to that in a little while. But the first thing we're going to need, I'm going to put that up there actually, we're going to need some seagulls, and I'm going to show you a very easy way of making some. We only need the head. I'm just making sure you can still see it. You can, excellent. Actually, I'm going to turn that around. For this one, you'll only need the heads of the seagulls, but don't worry, they're not going to be absolutely accurate, because it's not that type of card. So you need them 1 inch wide. Now, if you're making a bigger card, you can make these bigger. This is one of these things you can adapt. And I'm going to make mine 1.5 inches high. So I'm just going to use what is now a very shabby ruler. This is one of the rulers that I made, and it was nice and neat at one time, but it's now, because it's used so much, it's extremely shabby. So that'll do. So, and I have missed my lines completely, but that's all right. What we'll do, I won't worry too much about that one, but what I'll do is I'll take an eraser, and I'm not even going to bother. I can see my mark, so I'm not even going to bother using a ruler. So you can just draw up, and then on the end of that, this is 1.5 inches, and then on the end of that, just draw a dome like that. Now, obviously, we need to give him some features, and again, this is going to be very, very easy. I'm just going to take a pen, and I'm going to draw, this is some ordinary alcohol markers, and I'm going to draw a very simple triangle like that, and just round it at the end, and colour it in. Very, very simple. And then obviously he needs some eyes. So this is just a black Sharpie pen, because it's the only one I could find. And we're just going to draw 2 eyes like that. And then all you do is you cut it out. But I'm not going to waste your time cutting it out, because I'm sure you know how to do that. So you just cut around your line, and you don't, I'm making 2, but you can make as many as you like. So once we've cut our seagulls out, as I say, I've made 2, and I've cut mine out. And there they are. I haven't given them names. If you want to give them names, do feel free. So, the other thing we need to make is a couple of parasols. So, this isn't as difficult as you might think. So, I'm using a circle die. This is a 2-inch circle die, but again, if you're making a bigger card, you can make these as big as you like. It's one of those projects you can adapt to whatever size you're doing. So, I was just standing up just for a second to make sure you can still see, because I can't see a thing in my screen. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide it into 8 sections. I'm going to use a pencil. Now, I'm going to press harder than I normally would, just so that you can see the lines. So I'm not going to measure it. We're going to do a line straight down the middle. Then we're going to do another line across the middle. So we're, in a way, we're creating a type of 8-point star. So the drawing is no more difficult than that. Now, I'm going to stick with the colours I'm using on my card, and I'm going to use a red pen. and I'm going to go over my lines like that. So we're not going to colour all of these, we're only going to colour every alternate one because it's going to look like a parasol by the time we're finished. And then there's just a couple of things we need to do to it to make it look more like a parasol. So I'm just going to quickly finish this off so that you can see what it looks like when it's finished. So you don't have to be too careful. It's one of these things, if you're not particularly confident with colouring, you don't have to worry. As long as you stay roughly within the lines, and even if you don't, you can always just adjust the lines a little bit to cover up any overhang, so to speak. So we're just going to do this one very quickly like this, and once we've got all this bit sorted out, it goes together almost in seconds. So I'm just going to, where I've gone over a bit, so if it's not absolutely accurate, the spacing is not absolutely accurate, don't worry, it's a handmade card. So there we go. And just to finish it off, just to give it a bit of a base, so to speak, I'm going to use my black Sharpie pen and I'm just going to draw a bit in the middle, just to give it something to hold it all together, as if it was a real parasol. Then what you've got to do, now this is the magic, and it's very, very easy. What you do, it's easier if you colour your bits in first, because then you know where you're going with the scissors. Start at one of the sections and cut an arch like that. Now I'll give you a tip about that. Start your scissors off like that, but don't turn the scissors. Hold the scissors still and turn your card. So I'll show you that again. So put the scissors at the depth that you want them. Hold your scissors still, but turn the card like that. So we're just going to go just a tiny bit faster all the way around like that. So hold that and turn the card. Of course, if you find it easier to turn the scissors, I know some people do. I actually find it easier to turn the card, which is what I'm doing. So we're just going to do one more. Oops. And there you go. You've got a parasol. That was easy, wasn't it? Now I've already got two made up, so I'm just going to sweep this to one side. Now we've got all that out of the way, we can start, or finished I should say, we can start putting our card together. So now, there is actually an easier way. I was going to say a correct way, but it's actually easier, or more effective shall I say, if you put the card together in the order that I'm going to give you. So we're going to start, I will put all the measurements I've given you and the order of assembly I will pop in the description below, so don't worry, just click on the word more and everything will come up that you need to know. So the first thing you need to do, which I found easier after a few trials and errors, otherwise you might have bits and pieces in old places, I'm going to stick the seagulls down first, and I'm going to use glue for that. I'm going to use my bookbinding glue, but you can use any glue that you've got, and I'm going to decide where I want them. So apart from the tops of the faces, apart from the seagulls' faces, you're not going to see too much of this by the time we're done. So don't worry too much whether they're absolutely accurate. So we're just going to get this card together because it's a really good one, or it will be when it's finished. So I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to put it slightly separate from the first one. I could have overlapped it, but I don't really want to. But you won't see this bit. By the time we finish, you won't see this bit here. And then you need a sand strip. Now I've used a sort of sandy style colour, and this is 6 by 1.5, and what I did was I cut the top part unevenly so it looks like sand. And again, I'm going to use my bookbinding glue from Creative Crafts to put this down because it goes down super fast and it dries super fast. Doesn't dry instantly, but it doesn't take long. So I'm just going to hold it for just a few seconds, that's all it'll need. And then the last, well, almost the last bit to put on are the two parasols, which I've got over here. If you want to bend them a little bit, you can. I'm not going to. What I've done with mine, on the back, I've got a couple of foam pads, one foam pad on each. And what I am going to do, because this is the same white as our seagull, I'm going to try and arrange them So actually I want the other one on there. There's no particular reason why, but so I'm just going to take that off. We'll take the backing off anyway. I'm going to arrange it so that the red is actually against the seagull, because that way it will show up more. And again, I've got red here, and I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put that a little bit further down. Oh, no, not too far down, because I've got to get the sentiment on. So I'm going to put that, yeah, I think about there. So now it looks like our seagulls are dancing or hiding or playing behind the parasol. Now I've got to set, this is the one that I made to show you, but I'm going to put that to one side. I'm not going to throw it away because I'll probably use it on a different project. So now you need to see the sentiment I've got. So I've actually split my sentiment in two parts. So this is, as I say, this is a birthday card, and he wants to propose on his girlfriend's birthday. So I'm going to put the happy birthday first, and I'll save the best till last. I know, mean, aren't I? But never mind. So I'm going to put the happy birthday right in that corner there. And there's just one more word that needs to go on. And I'm going to put that across there. So I'm just going to pop some glue on there. So right, wait for it guys, here we go. Happy birthday. Let me just pop this on. Girlfriend, which I thought was absolutely adorable. And I know Peter, as his name is, will love that. So there we go. There is our, what I'm going to call a seagull card. A seagull maybe I'll call it a seagull birthday card, as it is principally for her birthday, although he is going to propose. So there's our seagull card, or seagull birthday card. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It was so much fun to make, and I've really enjoyed sharing this card with you and the story behind it. The glue's still wet, obviously, but it will stand up really nicely like that. And I hope that they get a lot of fun out of that. And she says, yes, I hope so, after all that. So I will see you on Monday now. So have a fantastic weekend. And I will see you then. And in the meantime, take care, everybody. Have fun. And as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.